Good morning, everybody. Sorry, back again because my last documenting sharing video was disrupted at 1 hour 41 minutes. It happens many times and again happened today that I have to face this disruption problem. No problem. What to do? It's life and it's not in my hand or your hand. We move like this, life moves like that. We have to accept what are facts, signals problem, or some other problem. I wanted to continue that for 2 more hours, but it didn't help. It didn't help. What to do? Well, we have to go like this. So I thought to stop that sharing now and just to have some interaction with you regarding what is right and what's not right. That interaction is very important. I was talking about contracts, I was talking about engineering. Contracts, we know very well what are construction contracts and what are EPC, we know it very well. Without contracts, it's a trend that without contracts we cannot do development. We cannot carry out projects. Either we carry out ourselves, well, we can do if we wish, there's nothing wrong in that. If we want to do ourselves, there's no one to stop. It depends on what policy do we adopt. Why cannot we ourselves? Why should we be dependent on contracting people? But easy way is always preferred by people. Easy way. Very easy way we prefer. Life is easy and everybody wants to say, don't make my life difficult. This is very common understanding among people of all over the world. You are making my life difficult. Don't make my life difficult. You may be also saying that in your language, if not in English. यार क्यों तंग कर रहे हो? क्यों तंग कर रहे हो? कर रहे तो कर रहे हैं. यार क्यों अपनी टांग अड़ा रहे हो? While coming in or poking your nose in this. We are moving very smoothly, no problem. Yeah, that's right. Moving smoothly, no problem. There's no problem at all. Move smoothly. I don't say don't move smoothly. And so fact remains that it's job of engineer actually, to be very frank. Construction, design, or all fields of where engineers work is their show. I don't know how is this third element or this unknown element contractor has come in. I call it unknown element. Because we want to give job which we know, which I can understand and I can do it as an engineer. Still I want somebody else to do it for me. That is really a smart idea, I can say. Means I learned engineering so that one person who is not engineer or possibly maybe engineer, depends. He work for me and then I force him, give me quality, give me quantity, give me reliability. It's fortunate that still engineers do designs. Really, still this is appreciated because people who are in contracting, they themselves don't know anything about design for them. So they do physically, but they cannot do it mentally. Well, it is something obvious. We have to be very clear in making statements like that. I should not criticize contractor people or engineers, but I do not like that we don't have interest in something and we blame them. Is construction not job of engineers? Of course, design is job of engineer. Construction is also job of engineer. This means we are not powerful engineers. We don't want to accept risks. Risk in a way that we like to supervise, we like to surveil, we like to inspect, but we do not like to do it. That is difference. I can say in old, maybe those engineers who used to devote their career towards doing jobs themselves. Now it's not doing yourself but just supervise jobs done by others. There's a little difference. After all, who is other? And why you want to supervise? Question is, I have seen many countries, particularly Middle East, ME, and I have seen that there's a different understanding of engineer, different understanding altogether. Now, means they are also using contractorship. They use contractor method. But there was a time, if you go far in if you go in 80s and say you are in Libya that time, where country was remote and country was not accepted by world as a carrier country. So those people had different level of thinking about engineers. You are an engineer, do it. I have seen this thinking in Iraqi people, in Libyan people. They have complete approach with high regard to engineer. But you are engineer, why are you asking me? You do it. Some used to say, you are engineer, prove it. It happens. If you say something, if you discuss something with those people, just like we have a habit to demand everything, give me this, give me that. So, if you ask them, give me this specification, give me that specification, and you are a competent person, they'll say, you are an engineer, why are you saying this? You don't you know? Don't you know? I still remember, I laughed sometime, I was in ECO, in electrical construction company in Tripoli, Libya. And they were all multinationals, means all nationals actually, all nationals of that country and many other countries, European countries, British and all that. One Poland engineer, he designed project which I had to work. He just design means he just coordinated, did not actually design, coordinated, you can say, coordinated that project, and he was working from office. And I sent a message to him, give me specifications of this and that. You know no specification? Answer was, every mason knows. Every mason knows this specification. You don't know? You are asking me? You are engineer. Oh my God. Our habit is, we always say, give me this specification, that, even though you know that. This is our culture. But you know, world is not same as we are working. World is different. What we think engineer here, or used to think that time, it doesn't mean concept of engineer is same in those countries. Different, completely different. High regard for engineers there because they were short of engineers. They were short of engineering workers. They were short of resources. So when you are short of resources, you value resource. And we have your plenty of resources, redundant resources. You do not value of resources. That is our country, India, Bharat. We don't value resources. And we don't value resources. We can't preserve our resources and we can't use them best way. That is also true. And that's why, of course, we are thriving in numbers. We are thriving in population of engineers, but we are not. We are not to that level we should be. People call them, oh, we are at world level. Yes, you are at world level if you have worked all over. That's different. But if you haven't left, you're not world level. You're not having any level because unfortunately you're not learning anything. We call Lakir ke Fakir is a phrase. Means there's a line on stone and you have to walk only on that stone. You don't change it even. So you have that kind of adoption in engineering. And that's not engineering. I was impressed by those. Oh, you are engineer, you prove it. Means I thought that I would be received in a different fashion, but they rebounced. Prove it. Means you prove it, you do it, prove it on site. You are given this task, this job, do it. I still remember projects there. I was involved in one construction of diesel power station in Sirte town of Libya, and also some substations. I don't exactly remember, Benghazi city, yes. These substations, and designs were available, yes. Designs were available. We had to construct. You have, say, okay, go to site, you are in charge, work there. There are so many people and you demand more if you wish, and do it. Believe me, no contractor. No contractor there. Okay? But I never demanded any contractor. I never said anything. But simply say you are Mohandas. Say Mohandas means engineer. I was registered with Libyan Society of Engineers because without registration of that society at that time, you won't use designation engineer. So once you are there in that title, you can sign as engineer. So, well, I was happy that there was a contractor and I have to do myself all arrangement of materials. So there was coordinator at office, central office, and there was a coordinator who used to come to site for giving the materials. If there's some problem of materials, he would arrange money wise, means they will buy something. And he used to say, see, hey Mr. Engineer, see, this is Libya and the material is a big problem here. If you do not exactly think that I have to buy only this much quantity, if you buy some more, it may benefit you in future, because sometimes it takes time to procure material. So better if you be on plus side, because it won't go waste. We have many projects we can, if you don't use them, you can transfer them to some other project. So that was not a problem there. Even nails were not available sometimes, nails 2.5 inches nails, or 3 or 4 inches nails, or 1.5 inch, or concrete nails were not even known to people. So you can say it's not because they didn't know that. They knew, they well understood all this, but because there was some other issue in those days. It was issues like, you can say, due to those issues, there was a problem for procurement. So I worked on those projects using myself, all planning yourself and deploying yourself all work, human resources, and requiring machines as well as arranging materials, doing as if it is your own contractor. You are a contractor. You are an engineer. You have to follow drawing. You have to read drawing, and you have to correspond, and you have to communicate, or whatever. There was no computer in those days, and no mobile. Forget mobile, and not even landline on site. You see, I did not have a landline there my site. If I had to make a call even to my head office in Tripoli, I had to make a call to my home in Delhi. We had to go to telephone exchange, or from where we could make a call and stay in queue for many hours or sometimes. And we used to make a call, or sometimes I used to send my secretary or my driver or whoever I trusted go to that, because I'm not even time to go there. You go there and make a call and pass this message to that officer who's above me, that we have done this progress. So there was no facsimile there even in my office, but we worked. There was one Libyan manager who used to come to help us for arrangement of materials or procurement of water or whatever else, and there was some other person who used to come. People used to visit site frequently. There was no such dearth of recipients, and we used to get up early morning and work, and then of course that was stay on site itself, and there was no other, you can say, way. You had to sleep there. You had to sleep there, walk there. This was for about 2 years. I still remember that time. Interesting. You are in desert, no society, no family, nothing. Your workers constituted your family. You had to stay with them. I mean, of course, I had separate cabin away from their residence, but I was responsible for them as a site in charge, or as a elder brother, you can say, or as a you can say PRO, like you can say camp boss. It's a commonality of that. Only purpose was, they never used to say how many masons, but they say you have so many people. It's your people, you are responsible. Food was free. No problem from that viewpoint. But that was different world, you see. If you compare it to today's world, you can't find that world anywhere. I am explaining to you, but because you won't find that something now. Even though you go same place now, you will find all changed. Time. And it's not far away. It's just, you can say 83, 17 plus 38 years back. I mean, it is a complete drastic change in 3 decades or 4 decades. You would never realize that, but it is a fact. Well, I am just narrating you my experience because it is wonderful, and I learned practical activities because of such circumstances I was placed in. And I used to do design myself. There was no appliances that time like computers or software. You had to do manual everything. Quantity I worked out yours way, and site work, fabrication, bars, and all, and mixing on site, mechanical mixing. Or sometimes we had ready mix as well, but not in that scale. Not in that scale. We got in Iraq. We had mobile pumps and stationary pumps, so we used them, and we did not find any major issue. In Iraq also used to have prop support with them, other timber, batons, and a slab, suspended slab. So we had to do it because there was no other way. When you are in some country, you have to follow that country. If you don't follow that country, you can't work. So I still remember my Libyan experience of 83, 84, 1983, 84. My experience elsewhere. But of course, hard work was necessary, more time to your job was necessary, without which you won't move. So it is, you can say, you cannot say it is something extraordinary. It was that time, even in our country, only difference was that there was engagement of contractors. Because we are very luxurious people. We are very luxurious. We are more than average because we have population, and because of population we have workers, we can we can spend money on people, and that money is gone waste after some days. Why this statement I am making? Just to let you know life, how difficult it is when you don't have resources. When you come across such organization, you have to work yourself. It's not like government here in our country, government departments where they just don't want to work, let a contractor work. So we have to come out of our luxurious style, and we have to concentrate on quantity and quality. Otherwise, we are, we shall become slaves of facilities. Now, I now contracts are, as we know, so contracts are very complex, and these are multidisciplinary contracts nowadays. Well, I am happy that I got that opportunity in my life, though it was late, but it made me stronger, because I know just academics study that, that level of working is very important. That level is very important, and it's paying one. Paying not in sense of money, paying in a way of getting experience, getting knowledge, which is much more powerful if you compare to money making. When you have knowledge, of course you will get money, not now, later. Maybe not in same assignment, in some other assignment. That is true. When I was recruited in that position for Libya, this is a government assignment actually. This is joint venture of government of Libya and government of our country. I was interviewed for that position, and that chairman who interviewed, chairman of that company, he came and interviewed, and He asked everything, but he wanted to make sure by his question, style of his question was at end of interview that can you, if people are sleeping in camp, they don't get up, can you force them to get up? And you are, whether or not you are money minded, these was conclusive questions. Well, you know what answers I must have given. Is you have to supervise them, you have to work for project. Can you go to them if they sleep? What I mean to say that, can you act as elder brother for these people to get up because they are sleeping morning time and they are lazy, still lethargic? And are you money minded or no? But you know what answers one should give. In this age, I was 80, it's 83. 83 means I was about 83. I was born 55, so 25, 28 years age. 28. Too young, but appointed as engineer, civil engineer, project engineer in that age. Big one, age-wise, means managerial level, project manager type. And if you want to get that position, means I was tested there itself. Means you cannot say here I was given civil engineer designation, but there they tried my capacity. They engaged me on some project and do it. And after making sure that person is efficient and can hold position of responsibility, so I'm not getting fitting. Okay, do it. You know, that type of performance observation and then deploying that different approach. They never deployed by arbitrary method, never. This is a different kind of, they always used to conduct weekly meeting by their own managers, all local nationals, and performance of every engineer was deliberated in those meetings. And then say, okay, means I don't know how secretly they got information about people, particularly overseas people, and how this person is working, what is his efficiency, which project is best for him, or should we keep him, or should we, remove. So one day, one of my Libyan colleague came, hey Suraj, you are promoted. What do you mean promoted? I mean, he meant to say that you are going to another project. Mudir. Mudir? What Mudir? Manager. You will be in charge. After some time I saw there's nothing, get prepared, you are going to. That person was close to me because he used to learn something from me, young one. Yeah, these people come closer to those who have technical backup, and it was that time. I was not expert. I'm not saying I was, but our experience sometimes is more than what others have, and you got advantage of knowledge of English as well, which some people politically don't like here, but they like or they don't like. It doesn't make a difference. Language of communication is worth. If you want to communicate with people of world, means there's some common language, you may say, not the international language, a common language, which you have to write or to speak either. And if you write very well and you speak also, it's good. It connects you as much as possible to whole world. And of course, when I'm an engineer, I'm expected to know good language of English, and that's also worth your capability, because in international world, in international sphere, in world affairs, can say, You may not know other languages, but communication is done. If not in some other language, it can be conveniently done in English language. That's also a point we have to understand clearly. And that gave benefit to everybody. So I was also beneficial of that. I had habit of writing, I had habit of speaking. This habit did not develop, whatever good or bad I speak or I write. It's not because of my experience, local experience in India, Bharat. It's overseas experience. Because there you meet with different nationalities, and particularly in a higher position, you meet British, you meet Europeans, you meet Americans, you meet Far East people, and there's the different way of combinations. And not only you learn or use English, you twist your English as well. Sometimes your English language is consonant is broken. You want in one talk only you are somewhere in British tone, and in other one you are in Arabic tone, and in some other you are in Philippine tone. It happens. It happens. Means you can't say that this is an error. It is because of change. If you want to speak to Arabic, you have to use certain twist angle. You must twist language so that that person picks what you say. Otherwise, it's difficult for them to know exactly what you're saying. You want to speak to some European or to some Filipino, there is variation. Or when you speak to your own people sometime, you will find tone, accent in south or accent in north, all different. So what I say, you have to keeping view on face. Just like exactly. The example is actual. We say actual, but Filipino say actual. It happens, and you say in your way is schedule. Like we say schedule in British say schedule. But if you say Arabic, they won't say schedule. They will say schedule. Americans would say schedule, and like others. So it's same. Has same, no difference, but tongue, accent changes. Likewise, our sometimes words are very heavy words we say, and if we speak that way, it doesn't communicate to objective person to whom we talk. So because it's our interest that I have to use that person is not going to use me, I am going to use that person in that work. So it's better on my way itself that my communication is transacted fruitfully. If I speak my way as I speak here, they may not understand that, but I have to also know that they are not very serious in work. It's okay, I could not understand what you said. At end if say, you'll be very unhappy, disappointed, This was telling me now, in that time, this person forward, We have to realize this point in our life, and if we realize it as soon as possible, I think it's better. Well, now world is changing, and they are also getting educated. This I'm talking so much, 83, so 7 and 28 is back. Yes, 20. Oh no, 83, 17, 38 is back. Life has changed, new generation has come. But sharing experience is no bad. We should tell young generation what that time was. And now you see our difference itself is bridged because I am a man, I'm a person from that time when there was no calculators, not even non-scientific. I use only log tables, and you see now what's happening. I'm not using log table, and generally we are not using calculator. Computer is enough for that. So change. Writing everything. I wrote books. I know how many months I took to write and make diagrams, and now you directly write and send to publisher. The publisher is happy. There's a difference. It's because of technical change and adopting technical change itself. Well, this is development. There's no way you can say no, and there's no way you can say I don't use it. You have to accept it. There is no way out. If you accept as much as you can do, it's for your interest. And being a civil engineer, being a practical engineer, being a result-oriented person, it's much responsibility on your part to do it, to use it, and technology is always moving. It moves all the time. It moves every now and then. So I wanted to share with you this talk because of sometimes we have to interact face to face. Document sharing is the best one so that you can also read. But what to do? No way. I am happy after long time. I am starting again gradually, slowly on on 12th of September. I was down. I was in an accident. About now, today is 7th, 8th, yes, 8th. It is 8th February. It's about 5 months over nearly. So I'm resuming my connection to you people very, very gradually, keeping my body strength, keeping my capacity, and keeping my inability to walk comfortably or sit long hours comfortably because of my problem in leg. Very weak now, cannot walk without stick, and that too I can't walk very efficiently. It takes me about 40 minutes to walk a kilometer. It's to the inefficient walking, but it is an unhealthy condition. But still, engineering is in my mind. My mind cannot run away from that. Till time I'm here, I don't leave for good. Engineering, which is only answer to development. Engineering, which is only an answer to development, which major portion is taken by your contribution, my contribution for development of nation and world. You cannot isolate yourself from others. If you isolate yourself from others, means you isolate yourself from everyone. It is your contribution that pays you I never say pays you in terms of money. I say pays you in every other term. When we are in such a way, we have to be very serious. We have to be very serious. Yes, we have to. And it's now simply, you can say, engineering, contracting, quality. My approach is quality here. Engineering is there. When you do quality, engineering is automatically there. I don't mind contracting. Do it. If it is quality contracting, it's okay. If where engineering is done in contracting, in construction, if quality input is available, nothing is wrong. What's wrong? Give me a couple of minutes because it's important. I have to just be back in that time. I think I will be back in this time. Give a couple of minutes, please. So, we have to understand life. Before understanding engineering, we must understand life. Life not only in this country, life in general. What do others think for us, for others? If we condemn others, we think no, what we think, you all think that way, we can never succeed. We have to intermingle with others, culturally, educationally, thoughtfully, and otherwise, or else we are not part of world. We never be considered ourselves part of world. There is no isolated world now, no isolated country now, and no isolated engineering now. We have to understand each other. So what others think, what engineers should do, we should also think what engineers should do. I still remember some person used to say in German people, engineers care for drying themselves. Engineers care for drying themselves. People used to think, that used to tell me, they work themselves on drying boards. Just to know facts means where error is caused. That error must be corrected, and it can be corrected only when it is discovered. But that was not existing trend in our country. There's a difference. I've seen many engineers of overseas, England and others, using and drawing themselves. There's a difference. There's a difference means if you draw yourself and if you instruct some other person, draw for yourself. There's a lot of difference. When you draw yourself, when you draw self means you concentrate on that. You try to get my point. As an engineer, when you draw, whatever drawing, it may be architectural, it may be structural, it may be schematic, it can be three-dimensional, whatever. Picture is in your mind, but that's not clear. Picture is in mind, design is in mind. It's not clear. So when picture is in your mind, you are not clear, how can you communicate that unclear picture to other? Yes, if you are free, if you are absolutely clear, this means you shall never give it to someone else until it is completely done. Or at least fundamentally it is done. Means you have given some perfect sketch. Okay, develop it now. That's okay. At least research point you have undertaken. That's difference. Means if you have worked yourself, you shall know where it shall give trouble. And that point you explain to that person. But if you say, no, you do it, I'm just going to supervise it. I think that's not solution to problem. That's no solution to problem. That's no solution to problem. It is a factual condition. Problem to be solved. And remember, drawing, we know, is certain language of communication on engineering drawing. You may say drawing is a real communique. And if drawing, yes, when you used to draw, using pencil and drawing board, drawing sheet, we could not even know perfection of dimensions. Software AutoCAD has allowed perfection dimension wise, because sketch won't complete if it is erroneous. Sketch won't complete if it is erroneous. That is well known fact. But while drawing on board, on sheet, we cannot ensure millimeter accuracy. So you can say that development is good, that at least drawing tells us where you are wrong or there's something wrong. Means I'm not trying to explain about drawing here. I'm just telling you that drawing is communication language about engineering. So if engineer takes its own interest, though people may be taking now, I cannot say, I cannot blanketly confirm or reject someone. They may be, but basically style is still same. I am an engineer. Well, leave aside. Now come to quality on construction. Quality in construction. How far we are there? My experience tells me we are not doing what we should. My experience is telling me different story. Maybe I am wrong, but I am for sure. I am certainly right. Quality in construction. I'm not talking of workmanship, remember. I am talking total quality. Total quality. Which doesn't mean quality alone, which means all process standard to move under certain definition of quality. It's working. It's well defined certainly on papers, but is it working? Question arises. If something is written paper in detail doesn't mean it's working. You may see we have a method here. You can read there is set policy here of this company. You can see this method is here. We are following everything. Yes, maybe in writing, maybe you have copied paste. You have copied from some document, paste on your document. That's also possible. It happens. It happens because when you copy with something, you're not very serious about that, and your deficiency is caught. But when you write yourself something you're going to do, you won't make those many mistakes. Yeah, there could be clerical mistake, and there could be some other mistake, typing error, but not fundamental errors. Fundamental errors are seen, are detected. And it is well established that this was copied and pasted. People don't have any degree of shame. No problem, everybody copies. The answer is that. It's okay, everybody's copy. You also copy, it doesn't matter. You copy and do it and doesn't matter at all. But follow it. Point is that. Can you follow it? That's the point. And if you can't follow it, what's the purpose of copy? If you copy, apply mind, then that's important. Or just you copy and don't apply mind. I'm talking of quality not only in construction but also in designs. If you can't produce quality, if you can't produce work quality which designer expects, which about designer owner expects, owner of that project, what we are delivering, what do we deliver? Means we are happy to deliver something which is flawed in quality. Do you accept as an engineer? You may get angry, I know. I know engineers accept quality only, they don't accept otherwise. But which engineers? Those engineers, if you don't know what is quality, what do they accept? I'm not blaming that engineers don't know quality. They know quality. But they are used to ignoring. They are used to ignoring. And I'm not saying that this is exclusive fault of those engineers. There may be some other reasons behind that. Every problem has some reason. So they may be having some reason. Maybe they are tired. They are fatigued. Every time I think of quality, I talk of quality, but nobody bothers. That's right. I tried 500 times. People don't listen. Okay, leave it. Leave it means ignore it. What can I do? I can break my head. And I can't do job also because it's my food. I can't leave my job. I am not that big, I can start my own job. I'm not freelancer. Well, reasons are valid. Valid reasons. If you don't have a job, you need a job. People don't listen to you about quality. How can you be behind them all the time? And that is the reason. Job is your requirement. But this is also a fact. They don't comply with quality, but they don't make any saving out of that. We have to understand this fact. If people think quality, ignorance makes you saving, well, I don't believe that. This is not my conception. My conception is not that. Yeah, it was a robbery is something else. Robbery means there was some trend in past, long past, that you do not mix required number of cement bags in concrete, or you do not use demanded steel and you steal that. That's different. That's not part of quality. That's robbery or stealing. But when you are doing or using all required material, the product of material is not of quality. It's substandard work. What do you call it? What kind of saving you made in that? If you are unable to compact formation level, for example, you are not caring for that. You think consolidation would take its own word, means it was consolidated automatically. If you have such kind of thinking, and you leave aside and let law go on, not on dense, a semi-dense one. Here's question of quality. After all, what did you save? Had you compacted well, what would have gone? This is very strange point. Just for little negligence, you are putting this structure into danger. You are using concrete, you are using formwork, you are using everything you are using, but you are not having patience for compaction. You don't have any patience. Maybe you get some fabricated results of compaction. That's different. But the point comes in how to achieve quality. Well, you see, all time he's criticizing only quality. We want to do quality. I know which quality is talking. You may say that. You are right, which quality I'm talking. See, I'm talking about structures. Quality and consistency of structure. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about reliability of structure. Reliability means economic, now if you want to achieve quality, you have to understand concrete and steel combination. Okay, quality in concrete is very important point. If you achieve concrete quality, I think rest of that. We do not. The basing plant and one formation. Yes, and then this works in